Greetings, and I just wanted to add to something about the, full moon. Speaking of some spiritual things in the other one, last video, I think, or set two ago, last one, I think, yes. What's going on spiritually, but not just about a literal light and moon or something. And it just hit me, even though I wrote down saying coming out of light into the darkness, because that would be the backwards picture, with the moon. It's not about the moon, though, but what's going on in the heart, coming out of light and into darkness, or coming out of darkness into the light. But something hit me just now. And the Father just gives something clear to see. And when you see something, it's like just adding to, increasing, that we didn't see the exact same way before, or not at all. If it's something brand new, then not at all. If it's not brand new, then increasing, seeing better, any given truth. And Messiah says this is the judgment. Those who say they see, those who see are made blind, and those who are blind see. He didn't come to heal the righteous, but those that scream out, help, I'm a sinner, I'm blind, and then he heals the blind man. Heals the guy that can't walk. Take your bed and walk. Heals the deaf, acknowledging, see, in the heart. So then that's the judgment. He didn't come to heal the righteous, but there is none righteous, like we read. None are righteous, none are good, not even one. It's a mockery towards believing in the heart someone is good, that we're good ourselves. Because someone says they see, that also says that they're also saying they are light, full light, that they're good. They already see, they don't need healing. But in reality, everyone in destruction, death, and blinding for all people are that first. That's the only reality. To say we see is a massive lie and sin with pride. The Pharisees are in their heart saying they can see. But Messiah says, if you said you don't see, that you can't see, you would not have any sin. But because you say you see, your sin remains. See, zero acknowledgement that man is a sinner and doing evil continually in his heart, and he's blind and deceived and in delusion. Not acknowledging the actual truth and reality, well, then it's a punishment. And the judgment is, well, then you're made blind then, because he only came to heal, the blind, the sick. So the Father has it to be according to everyone's word. Oh, you say you see? Okay. No healing then. No actual healing, insight, and understanding. Let's see how it works. And so that thing that just hit me with the moon, the creation, that the Father created the moon. Those who say they're in darkness and acknowledge, say that they're blind, which is, being in darkness is to be blind, but spiritual darkness, spiritual blinding. But in the dark, no one can see. It's blind. Saying we can't see, Messiah heals to see. We line up with truth and reality, and now there's something to heal because we line up with truth and say we can't see. Now that's the truth, and this is good. Now the Father will heal and start getting us to see. And now that black moon, starting from Egypt darkness, the Exodus from a dark moon, that, seeing this in our heart, we need to be given to see the spiritual thing in our heart. That we say we're blind, now there's something to heal. If someone says they see, then they don't need healing. But it's a mockery, though, a righteous mockery and judgment. They're actually blind, but because they say they see, let it be according to everyone's word. because someone says they see. Okay, not you don't need healing then. You see. You're not blind. You don't need healing. And then they're made blind. People are blind then. Those who say they see are made blind, and those who are blind see. It's connected to every sin that there is, connected to pride and self-righteousness. Believing in the heart it's good, which is to say it sees, which is to say it's righteous, which is to believe it's really good actually in the heart. But for those that say they don't see still, or that they see right now, is to say that they are light. It's to say that they're a full light and good. It's what they believe in their heart. They're not deceived. They're not in actual delusion. They don't lie. They're not in destruction and heavy sin continually with their heart. Okay, you start with the full moon then. What if the light in you is darkness? How great that darkness, Messiah said. It's a fake light. Saying you see is light, but it's a fake light, because what if that light in you is darkness, he's saying to the religious leaders and all those that follow, saying they see that they're light, a guide to the blind, a light to people. And so then it's a so-called light, and he takes away the lamp stand. He takes away the light so it shines no more in those that say they see spiritual judgment and destruction, saying we see, taking away the light because of that. It's a so-called light, but it's not actual light. So the moon, someone starts with the full moon. You say you see, well, there's nothing to heal. You already say you see, which is to say you're good, which is to say you're light. And so this is what the moon, it's like screaming out spiritual truth, the Father's creation. You start at the full moon. Now, after the full moon, what happens every day? Decreasing into darkness, darker and darker and darker until it's perfectly dark, a darkened moon, pitch black, all of it. That's what happens when we say we see, that the whole world is still doing, need the Father's mercy. But nevertheless, those who say they see are a full moon. You say they're light. Satan masquerades as a messenger of light, transforming himself into a messenger of light. No surprise that his ministers do also. Let it be according to their word. They say they see, and they're a full moon, full light. Then there's nothing to heal. The only path from a full moon is darker and darker and darker, destruction and death and darkness. But acknowledging sin, weakness, and darkness, and blinding and everything, no good of self. Now it's speaking, acknowledging, going along with the Father's truth and reality of mankind. Now there's something to heal, because someone says they're blind. They're lining up with the reality, which is someone's blind spiritually. And so then, because of truth, rewarded. Now there's something to heal and continue to be healed and grow. So then someone starts from darkness, a dark moon. But every day afterwards, the dark moon, it's getting lighter and lighter and actually increasing in light with real light until it's full moon, new, until the new day dawns, till the new day dawns, the full light at the end, the reward, salvation. But starting from full moon, saying we see, we're saying we're a light already, and it's decreasing, and it's not an actual light, but a so-called light. It's not the true light, the sun's light, it's the moon. And so then, starting from a full moon, light can only decrease now into darkness. Pretty amazing to me. That's what just hit me, that he gave creation speaking out his judgments and his truth, his word, spiritual things, the creation screaming out. Everyone's growing. The kingdom of heaven is growing, good, in Messiah, being healed, getting lighter and lighter, or the other thing right next to it, the weeds, the tares, are decreasing and dying, going darker and darker. The man throws a seed and it becomes a giant tree the birds rest on. But the woman, the harlot, in secrecy in the dark, because they're works of darkness, teach deceptive doctrine in the dark and lies. And then in this parable, this is something about the decreasing and dying and getting darker and darker. Something about the kingdom. Right next to it are weeds. Next to the wheat are many tares and weeds that are dying and getting plucked out and getting darker and darker instead of getting brighter and brighter and closer to the Father until the new day dawns. They're going into darkness, and then they're going to be going into destruction in the age to come, in utter darkness, full destruction, judgment. Decreasing and waxing worse and worse, like we can read individually and as nations wax worse and worse before their destruction. At the end, a severe destruction from waxing worse and worse. So also for all prideful mankind, waxing worse and worse, storing up wrath for that day of revealing, the day of judgment. And at the end, it will have been a destruction, darkness, a destruction, a fall. The house fell, a destruction. When the house falls, it's a destruction. And at the end of a nation's life, from so much sin, decreasing, waxing worse and worse, a destruction at the end for all nations. Disturbing, all the liars out there, not seeing the amazing things the Creator is giving that we need to learn and do with good works, our mind and heart, His works. Either a full moon, decreasing, destroyed, or a dark moon, increasing and being saved continually. All right, peace, take care, seek truth from above.